All right, today is Sunday, February 26th, and in my haste to get to the beach, I forgot my 4K high definition camera that was charging all weekend. So, sad thing is, I'm gonna have to video using my phone on a phone that it has okay definition, but it has good audio, but it's wavy, so it's gonna show a lot of waves. Here's the most interesting thing. My premise today is to find turnkey property that's selling for cheap, that you can easily subdivide. Well, maybe not easily, but the premise is you can subdivide it and sell it and make a profit with minimal effort. And the reason why I'm bicycling this way, not towards the beach, is because this is Fantasies of the Beach. And it says there's a rental place here and a lot of tools, so they could be renting tools here, I don't know. But this used to be Fantasies of the Beach, and it's just kind of interesting that they put a tent here. I'm wondering what kind of business this is. Is this Fantasies of the Beach, or is this the tool rental place? I don't see a sign, but you can see this is the tent they just put up. And this just came up since last week. Here's another piece of real estate that is interesting. This is the Warfield's restaurant. This used to make good money about 15 years ago. And then, I don't know, they had a fire in it, and it never really recovered from the fire. But in terms of possibly converting this into like a hotel or even a gas station, this would be a perfect location for one. I mean, obviously for an off the beach hotel, but a gas station, like a service station, they need them in this area. This would be good. Anyway, across the street is the Chevron station that has not reopened yet. So that's interesting. Anyway, there's a lot of opportunities here at the beach still. And there's a lot of nails still on the sidewalk. So things haven't changed much, but this is one of the changes I noticed. Now, if you look across the street, I don't know if you can see it because I don't have my wide-angle 4K camera on, but you see all those boats still piled up. And the traffic was light when I got here, but it seems like I must have just beat the crowd because now it's getting crowded. And I also forgot to oil my chain and gears. Anyway, I was in a haste to get here. I was out garage selling with a friend, and the garage sales they weren't that good this morning. They were small. Most of them were playing music. I couldn't record them anyway. There was like one garage sale, which the guy told me to turn the camera off, so I lost interest in it. He had a lot of high prices, had a lot of interesting stuff. Would have made for a good video, but he told me to turn the camera off. Some people, I understand, they want their privacy, they don't want it broadcasted, and I understand that, but on the same token, I like videotaping it. That's one of the reasons why I stopped at his garage sale. So if I can't videotape it, then I kind of just walked away at that point. You don't say anything bad, you say, oh, okay. You walk away. And they wondered why you walked away, and whatever. Right. Going the wrong way. It's terrible. Alright. Anyway, the wind, it's negligible. If anything, the wind is coming straight down. I don't feel it coming from the east, west, north, or south. It feels like it's just coming straight down. So that would be like it would almost be like a solar flare type of wind, where when the solar wind hits the stratosphere, it creates a high pressure and the air comes straight down. I also got my regular sunglasses on, not my ballistic glasses. My ballistic glasses, it makes things easier to look at because it's yellow, so I capture more with the eyes. Sunglasses, okay, I can open my eyes wider, but the ballistic glasses kind of like defeats the glare of the sun anyway. I had them on my car. I just decided to wear these. We'll see. Wearing the sunglasses is a little bit more, it's kind of a little more relaxing to the eyes, whereas the ballistic glasses, you can see more through them, but there is still a little bit more intensity of sunlight. I think the yellow, the ballista, filters out a lot of the like infrared, ultraviolet, but it doesn't filter out the intensity of the sun. Where these, my sunglasses filter out both the UV, ultraviolet, infrared, ultraviolet, and it probably takes about 20% of the light out too. Anyway, all right. So the premise again. I'm looking for real estate that's turnkey in a good condition. So I will bicycle down to Pink Shell Resort first. I have a good feeling that Bobwitch Pass is closed, so I'm just worried about my bicycle tires. I'm going to need to go out and buy some. I was looking for the last couple weeks, but the problem with ordering 29-inch tires is that when you go on these websites, and some of them have this, like what I call unbelievably low price, and they say they're 29 by 2.5, and you're like, okay, that's perfect. And then you look at the fine print and it says, well, it's really 1.9. Like, wait a minute, 1.9, that won't do. You gotta be really careful ordering bicycle tires. You have to, it has to say whatever the exact, like I'm riding 2.1s right now, my inner tubes. These have to at least match that. 2.2s are better. 2.5s even better. I'm just looking at, we're looking for hotels. So we're looking for big properties that we can subdivide and sell. So now I have been going on the Lee County Property Appraiser, Lee County Tax Collector, and I've been looking at properties that sold since 2022. Wow. Oh, I can smell that charcoal. I can smell the briquettes. It smells good. All right, I see. I noticed one thing. I noticed that. Now that's interesting because the Margaritaville has dropped some of the fences around its property, which is an indication they're going to start building the parking lot. Okay, this property here, this Wynn's property, you can subdivide this into a whole bunch of mini shops and then re-rent them. But I don't know if that's going to cover the mortgage. Probably won't. And even if you were to subdivide this into a real estate office that you can get up to $14,000 a month for. I don't know. I think you're going to be paying at least $2 million to have property, if not more. And your maintenance on that $2 million, estimated at almost 7%. Which is ridiculous. It's going to be about $70,000. So, wow. So it's getting $70,000 of rent a month there. You would almost have to, all 5 offices would have to be real estate offices. I don't know if another real estate office would appreciate that, having a real estate office next to it. But this hotel we just passed on the right, I like it, but it's owned by someone. I mean, I see renovations being made. It's not available. And then the Edison house, that's already open. Now, they're smart because this is spring break. This is where you're going to make your money. So the Edison Beach House is open. And I see parking, a lot of people are using it. So today is a good sign. Okay, it looks like on the left, they've dug up the foundation of all these. So someone must have just bought that land. That's smart, but a little late. Spring break is now. I can see spring breakers are out and about. Now, I know that inside Pink Shell, there is like a little tiny, by the front desk, there is like a little tiny boutique where you can buy some snacks. So I think that's where that woman got her snacks from, because there is several of them. This property on the right and on the left, I love. Here's another property that looks like the Edison house. It's not open yet, but there is a fence around it, which means that they are. It's called Beta Beach. I like it. And then the property on the left, this Best Western Plus. I love this property. This is the property I would love to buy. Okay, I thought there was 5 floors, but there's only 4 floors. But still, 4 floors. Let me count how many rooms are on each floor. Yeah, there's a lot of property being roped off, which means that they intend to build on it. And then on the left is a whole bunch of open property right before the Best Western Plus. This Best Western Plus, let's take a look at it. I just like the location. It's kind of, the street is not that crowded. It's not yet. It's got 4 floors. It's got, let me count the hotel rooms. Let's see how many between that section here. I could do some estimating. Let's see. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 there. Plus, let's see, that 5 makes, I'll go over here. 10, 15, almost 18 on the top 2 floors, and then it looks like 20 on the bottom too. The bottom floor, which is one raised above the ground floor, that one got hit with a flood. The second floor up, which is the 2 floors above the ground floor, that one may have got hit. It says there's a construction zone, no passing, and it looks like they are fixing up the pavers here. So I don't think it's available, but this property here I love, because I was thinking if you could buy this property, I'll buy it. How much are they going to charge? If you could buy it for under 40 million, let's put it this way. Buy it for under 40 million, you could sell the 2 top floors. In other words, subdivide the property, sell the 2 top floors, and you can sell those 2 top floors for 40 million. Get all your initial investment back. And of course, I would use an SBA loan at 4% for the 20 million. Pay back the SBA. Yeah, you're probably going to take a million or 2 loss, and probably another million to restore it. But although it looks like it's in great shape, it doesn't look like you need anything more to it. Here's a property coming up. It has, it's not fenced off, but it has a porta potty. I don't see the sign. Oh, wait, here it is. Pelican Cove, or no, Dolphin Waters. Hold on. This would be a nice property too to be able to. If you could buy the whole thing, that's the key. Dolphin Watch. See, the thing about this Dolphin Watch is that everything but the ground floor. Now there were some pipes over there. It looks like they encountered some issues, but and the first floor, definitely above ground floor, got hit by water. The second floor, it's hard to say what happened there. But the driveway looks in pretty good condition. There is a porta potty. Obviously the pool's been wiped out, but you know what? You don't need a pool. Then you got the Gulf of Mexico right there. You don't need a pool. That's the biggest fallacy about a hotel. You don't really need one. People like sunning themselves. They like jumping in the pool. They like coming in from the water to Gulf and jumping in the pool and washing themselves off. It's just a big pain, to clean the pool. But let's see, how many rooms are there? There are 'Wow. It looks like there could be, I'm estimating because I can't see the whole floor. It looks like there's 4 per floor. So these are extremely big units. So there's 8, so there's 4 per floor times 8, so you're looking at 32 units. So it's not as nice as the Best Western. The Best Western had had 18 times 2 plus 20 times 2. So the Best Western had 76 units. So this thing only has 4 by 832, so less than half. So to me, it would be half the value. But I mean, it looks in great shape. It's got just a little bit of aluminum missing from the roof. And another thing, you can't dismiss these low-riding old hotels. See, this thing, you can see on the left-hand side, this lime green. This thing is being fixed up. And they're doing a lot of work. I think I saw 2 people working on this. There's a lot of work for 2 people. They're redoing pavers. You almost have to, again, you have to have at least 1 person per unit. So if you have a unit like this, where there's, well, it's a one-side unit, so the other side was balconies that they ripped down. But you're looking at 12. You're looking at possibly 20 units, maybe more if they're smaller. If you make little tiny efficiency studios out of it, you might be able to divide the thing in half and get 18 times 2 plus 4. So you might be able to get 40 units out of it. Still, 40 units. The maximum you'd want to pay for something like that, because there's work to be done, would be, maximum would be 20 million. And I'm talking about it have to be in great work. That place is not in great condition because both floors were subject to Hurricane Ian. So you have to subtract from that 20 million almost $8 to $10 million right then and there just to I don't know. It's going to cost a lot. You're going to have an inspector inspect everything, the water, the electric especially. Rerunning electric through one of those could cost millions. It's not cheap anymore. And that's the problem with owning and developing real estate. The miscellaneous part of the expense is huge. So if you're an investor, if you find a general contractor who just needs other silent partners to put up the money, and you know this person, and he's not going to skip town with your money, then that would be a good investment. Okay, here's Pink Shelf coming up. So they own all the property on the left here and the right actually, and it looks like they still need to do some deck work on the right-hand side where their Marina Ship Store rentals is, because the railing is collapsing. And, I did see some cars parked out here, so I know that they're renting. Maybe the Captiva Villa is open. But it looks like this Sanibel portion is closed, or at least still renovating. The lights are all on, so I know the electric's working. Okay, cars are turning around at Bobwood's Pass. Yeah, it looks like the Captiva Villas is open, because there's a lot of, and there's Jack's Restaurant here. So if Jack's Restaurant is open, and I don't know if these people are here for the restaurant or here staying here, but since I can hear the air conditioning is on, I can see the lights are on, I can see people walking to the beach and in front, and bicycles, they have to be renting it. It's probably just not here. Oh, here's Sanibel View. Yeah, this one looks rentable too. Now on the right-hand side, there is a house that got torn apart, still standing, but it needs to be demolished, but it's still standing. I'm not sure if Pink Shell owns that property, but they will, that's for sure. Okay, I see people bicycling past the do not enter into Bobwitch Point. I'm not going to be doing that. But it actually could be a good bicycle south along the beach. But getting access to the beach looks to be restricted. So I'm just going to bicycle a little further past this no trespassing just so I can turn around. Because there's no turning around right here. I can't really get off my bicycle, it would be unsafe. So I just want to bicycle up here. I wish there was a little access to the beach here, but probably not. Alright, so people are having a hard time making a U-turn here. Don't blame them. Don't blame them. Alright, so as I'm bicycling, I'm encountering a little breeze. So I guess the breeze is blowing from kind of like southeast to northwest. This is a typical tropical winds direction that you would find in the summertime as well. Except I don't see any clouds. So the air above us is probably going from southwest to northeast, and the air below us is going. Usually that would spawn clouds. It's just about 12:30 right now, so it's a little early for clouds. They usually start forming right about now. So I'm thinking the next half hour or two, you're gonna have clouds. Oh, they're charging $20 beach parking here. So maybe that's the key. Maybe they're charging for parking. It's strange though, because there are, like Santini Plaza, you can park for free. There was a policeman down there issuing people parking tickets for no good reason. You can park down by Snug Harbor if you want to walk. They're flying big Coast Guard Cobra helicopters over the beach, which is kind of cool. I wonder if they're like a Coast Guard like gunship. But what are they doing flying out here? Are we getting invaded? Alright, so again, I'm looking for properties that can be divided. On the right here, I can see that they just ripped all their air conditioners down. So they're getting new ones probably put in. That's at least $1,000 minimum a unit just to buy and to put it up on the roof. Probably a package job, but they're gonna have to charge extra to install that. Probably another $1,000 to install them. So you're looking at $2,000 a unit. That normally would be $1,000 installed, but no, it's $1,000 purchased and $1,000 to install each unit. Yeah, I'm looking at the ground floor inside. Significant damage. They're going to be here for another year. They need to hire. They should have hired a team of people about 2 months ago, and came in and fixed this place up, because there's way too much work for just 2 people to fix up. All right, I'm looking towards the right. There's a house here that was boarded up. Looks like they were trying to save it. People have hopium, but when you're not here, you're not constantly doing work. You know, one angle of sunlight could spell the difference between the Fort Myers Beach Fire Marshal slapping a red sticker or slapping a yellow sticker. And if you're out of town for 6 months, that yellow sticker will turn into a pink slip, and then it will turn into a red slip, all within the course of 180 days. And if you just came down, and now you'll be back a year from now, you're doomed. Your place will be demolished by the time you get back, which I think is corrupt, but that's the way it is. So you have to bite the bullet, pay for a restoration company to come in. And I've seen restoration companies come in that it's hard to find right now because they're charging arm and leg. But, you know, the carpenters who can do, you know, basically woodworkers, the same type of people that install, you know, cabinetry and stuff, or drywall, they'll be able to do a good job and get your place, you know, up to par. They're not going to make it spectacular, but they'll get it to a point where you could rent it or resell it. All right, so coming up to, let's see here. So a lot of people just parking where they can park. So spring break, so people are trying to find their little niche. This Bel Air Beach Club. We're still renovating that, but alright, well, there's nothing in the back here. Some of these big beach homes, you know what, if it's a 6-bedroom beach home, the problem is, again, if $1 million equals $30,000, $35,000 in maintenance, and if these beach homes are going for $4 million, you know, $35,000 is ridiculous per month. I mean, literally, you'd have to rent each bedroom out. You'd have to have a constant flow of people renting at $1,000 a night, and still $30,000. The guy would only rent 1 bedroom. You need a little extra to take care of maintenance and just in case all the bedrooms are not rented. I mean, if you could rent the house for $2,000 a night, that's tricky. All right, now again, food trucks dominate here. We're not going to go down under the bridge. Maybe when I get back, we'll go down there. Just the road's closed, but I hear a lot of music playing. I see people on those dragline. Got the porta potties here, so people will hang out here with porta potties. And there's a wash station. So this is basically truck alley right now. Not really a Times Square, more like a food truck square. So as long as there's bathrooms, but I don't see that many bathrooms. Okay, let's see how much they're charging here for parking. It looks like the parking is full. I mean, I can see one spot's available. They used to charge $2.25 a beer. That was pre-hurricane. You know, they have to be up to $3 or $4 by now, especially with hyperinflation going on. All right, so this is Margaritaville we're passing next to. Both from the right or left. A lot of the fences came down. It looks like there was an accident or something. Like they're building some kind of elevated, not a pool, I don't know what it is up there, but some elevated area. Because they're going to put parking underneath the structure, which is smart. And of course, they didn't even know that the hurricane would happen. Now there's ample real estate that they can buy to put a parking garage up. They didn't have this opportunity before the hurricane. But it looks like Margaritaville is buying some of this other property, and they're starting to reevaluate their design plans because this old silver what's it called over here? This old Silver Sands Hotel. Oh, there's a construction office already here. Wow, that fast. So, wow, that wasn't here last week, so that's new. This Wilscott. This came from the old Top supermarket area. Wow. Wonder what they're doing there. See, I would love to buy one of them. So now we have to pass by Tops and see if those construction offices are still there. Well, I got 4 right here, ready to be bought and sold. Interesting. This hotel over here is being renovated. It's tuna skin. A lot of the old doorways, they're looks like they're raising some of the property too. Not like they're raising it like 3 or 4 feet. It could just be what it used to be, but I'm pretty sure the property wasn't that low before. It looks like they're putting in some kind of elevation. Okay, so Yo Taco over there. Yeah, they don't have that many people, but again, it comes and goes. They're one of the premier. There is a place behind them though that's doing some good business. And the Lana Kai, that wouldn't go cheap. That would be like $40 million. There's no way you can make profit here. No way. No one's going to buy these old, dank, smelly rooms for $1 million each. Now this property here, this property has potential. This is all $20 a day parking. You could put a building here and still charge $20 a day and put parking underneath the building and build it high enough. So that's probably what they should do. Oh, thank you. again, some of these beach homes, but they're like, I don't know, I've seen them as high as $12 million. So, wow, there's no way you could rent a house out for 12 million. I mean, the servicing the debt on that at 7%. Wow. Now, everyone's wanting to park over here. $20 a day. See? Oh shoot. Okay, this is a problem. And that's one thing about these glasses. I lose 20% of my visibility wearing these sunglasses rather than wearing my my yellow ballista glasses. So I don't see these concrete sidewalk problems as vividly as I would with the yellow glasses. Alright, so there is a construction office here. Okay, the property on the left. The interesting thing about it is the second floor. They want like, I saw this property was sold for like, I think it was $13 million. Just trying to think how many. I mean, obviously you need a new roof. Looks like you could put hotel rooms on both sides of this without balconies. Let me see how many rooms there are. Count the doors. 1, 2, 3. It looks like about 14. Let me count it again. No, actually, no, it's more than that. 1, 2. Okay, it could be up to 25, so there could be 50. So 50. Let's see if you were to sell that. 50. It'd be 50 million. If you bought it for 40 million. Yeah, I mean, the nice thing about it is that you can have you can finish off the ground floor with that amount of money. I got some sand in my mouth. You finish off the ground floor. See, this is the hardware store. They got, this is different than last week. Now they have this red partition fence around it. See, looking at that place again, see, it's all open on the ground floor. That's going to take a lot. Oh, just the electrical alone. The electrical alone is going to take a lot of inspecting and wiring. You're looking at probably a $1 to $2 million job. So even if you were to make 10 million selling everything like on the second floor, you still need an inspector to do the second floor too. That's going to cost you 50 to 60,000. So I'd be gritting my teeth knowing that the profit is so tight there. The only thing nice about it. Oh, thank you. My fault. The only thing nice about it is that you would have all that property left over to do something else with. Okay, Leaky Tiki's on the left. Again, it's slowly being cleaned. I mean, very slowly. On the right, Lowe's Pro. That's what this fence is. I love this property, but the ground floor got wiped out. The second floor got water too. So you're looking at a significant amount of restoration. And all this property on the left-hand side, this blue building, it all needs to come down. There's no way an inspector is going to even go in there. I mean, they already got condemned with a red, so it's got to come down. They're just waiting on the demolition team to demolish it. So, and a lot of these properties have hopium. They're coming down too. Look at this traffic coming off the beach. These are just people. I mean, some of them came to the beach earlier trying to get off. A lot of people, there's no food on the beach here, so they have to get to Walmart. And you can go to Walmart going to Bonita Beach way, or you can go to Walmart coming this way. Going to Bonita Beach way actually would be the better route to go to the Walmart there. And of course you have your option to go into Publix too. But people choose to go this way because the gas is cheaper this way on the Fort Myers side. Whereas if you go to Bonita Beach, the gas is more expensive, at least 20 cents a gallon more expensive. So it pays to go if you need a full tank of gas. If you need 20 gallons, you're going to save, $44. So Tri-Power Real Estate again. Now this building up here, this hotel, if this is for sale, this would be a great investment. The surf song. I'm looking in Belfour restoration. So it looks like it's being worked on, but this place here, Surf Song, looks like it survived really well. Again, the first floor above ground floor looks like it took a significant hit, but I can see that they had a new driveway put in here recently, and there's a construction shaft going from the roof, so they're fixing the roof right now. So, but that place, Surf Song, let me see how many rooms it has. See, that's pretty much made as like a hotel. You got 4 floors over the ground floor, and the ground floor is enough room for a lot of parking. Not much to cover the whole hotel, but enough to cover, you know, at least. Let me see how many apartments there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like they're on each side. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's, on this front of the building, there's 5 on this side, 5. There's 10 per floor, times 4 floors. So that's 40. And then on the front, it looks like there could be 6. Again, I could be wrong. It could be 4. But from this angle, it looks like 6. If they're tight. Let's say 4. 4 times 4 is 16. So you're looking at 56 units. So obviously you don't want to spend more than, if you're selling each unit for $1 million, maybe the ones on the water you get $2 million each for, it's 60, that's $32 million. You really don't want to pay more than, you know, $45 million, but if you could buy this unit for $45 million with an SBA loan at 5%, and it would take you maybe 6 months to a year to sell all these units, you could walk away with just $1 million extra in interest paid, $1 million in really, that's it. Just doing driveway painting, putting some signs up, making sure all the light fixtures, you know, need to be working and situated. I would think this is a good investment, this Surf Song, because I'm looking at the stairs. They all look good. All the concrete steps, the banisters look good. You're not going to find a hotel, a property like this in such good condition. Now, of course, looking at the beachfront, we're going to come back on the beach, so we'll see. This place here, it looks good from the front, but on the back, it has some significant damage. They just, you can tell, they just had the roof done, but and they have a yellow sticker, so that means you can occupy it as long as you meet their prescribed building recommendations within 90 days. And if they don't, then it's going to go to a pink sticker, which means they're in violation. And if they don't correct it within 90 days thereafter, then demolish within 90 days. And then they're going to demolish it, and then they're going to charge you for the demolition, and then put a lien on your property for the demolition. Yeah, it's not that pretty. Okay, so I'm getting I'm taking the sunglasses off so I can see more. I really wish I used my this hotel right here. This is sad. Hopium ran out. There's only a yellow sticker though on this hotel. This hotel has a lot of floors. It's got new windows on the second floor. That's the amazing thing about this hotel. And the nice thing about this hotel, the back side, very little windows. So you had dryer vents or some kind of vents, so you could count how many rooms there were. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It looks like about 20 or possibly 22 on this side. So that would be 20 times basically times 2. So you're looking at, this hotel had at least between 50 and 60 rooms. Again, I would not spend more than 60 rooms. I almost have to divide that in half. 30 million would be, you know, if I could sell them for $1 million each. I doubt I could sell them for $1 million each, because efficiencies. I mean, I know real estate prices are going insane right now, but you just have to, you know, wow, there's just a lot of, you'd have to refurbish them, and a lot of them would stink, and that could cost forever. I mean, just to get the stink out of there, you have to make sure it doesn't stink at all for the inspector. Anyway, so The church is coming up on the left. Again, more and more of it is being demolished day by day. Very slow though, so it must be, the church hired or volunteer staff. The whole thing's got to come down, so they're probably just waiting on the demolition. Okay, so the trailer that I liked is still up here at Tops. So it's still up here. Now this Fort Myers Beach government building, they really need to demolish it. It's beyond repair. They need to demolish it and start again. Here's the sad thing. This piece of property here I wanted to buy. It was, I don't know if you remember this piece of property, but there was like a little tiny condo situated away from the road right here on stilts, and the condo got completely wiped out. Just the concrete structure left standing there. And of course, obviously it's not worth it. They gotta knock it down, but it's right next to the pool. And the pool they have to knock down too, because the metal entry railings to get into the pool, they got twisted, so they have to put new ones in, which means that they compromised the pool level. And I can see the pool's not holding water right now, so the pool integrity got jeopardized. So, yep. Long story short, they gotta redo those pools, dig them up, put new ones in. That's gonna be $100,000 right there. All right, so we're still looking for potentials here. Again, I love this property where the old Tops supermarket, old Winn-Dixie supermarket was. But I just like the property. I just want to buy a piece of the little property there, put a little tiny real estate office on it. This little hotel, this Beach Shell Inn, they're trying to fix it, and it looks like they have some people here renting. It doesn't look like the owner's car, or they could just be parking here using the beach. Who knows? But I'm looking in there, and it's still a long way to go. The Hopium probably ran out, and their money ran out. When you don't have a cash flow coming in to finance some of this stuff, cash goes fast, and when time and cash are coupled together like that, whoa, you don't get that cash flow running. Okay, I'm looking at the garbage, and they've almost moved all the stuff out from the Fort Myers Beach Recreation Center. I'm serious, there's like only 2 piles I see left. Wow, it used to be a quarter-mile square by almost 80 to 100 feet high. Now I see 1 pile 80 feet high way in the back, and 1 pile in the front, and the rest there's some dirt piles. Now this is nice. All the land to the right now, a lot of for sale signs are out, so people are selling. Now's a chance to buy real estate. If you want to buy it because if you want to build a dream home, this is the place to buy right now. You have rocket dockets going off right now in the courthouse. There's just so many, they're filing. You just go in there, you pay your money, whatever, they stamp it and say go for it. So you can get anything developed right now. You got the money. Yeah, they're gonna approve it because they want jobs. They want this coming back online as fast as possible. They want their tax base back, because the people that own this property, if they don't sell before tax time, they're gonna have their reappraised, and their values of property are gonna drop. All right, that bank building on the left-hand side, the Surfside Casual Furniture, obviously that's what they wanted to put there. That's what happens when you hire 2 or 3 people. It's too much work. It's way too much work for 3 people. That would take a team of about 10 people, minimum. All right, now look at all this real estate coming up on the right-hand side. Wow, and look at the Gulf of Mexico, how beautiful and sparkling it is. Wow, now's the chance. If you want to buy a continuous piece of property on the beach, this is where it's at. Yeah, you may have to buy 2 or 3 and join them together, but this is where it's at. On the left-hand side, there's some property. Again, there's new setback lines on the roads here, and there's new rules regarding height. So you just can't buy a piece of property and think you're going to develop at ground level anymore. You can't do that. You have to think now 15 feet up, which means you have to almost build parking underneath your building, and then you don't just have to build parking. You have to you have to put in handicap lines. Potentially, you have to put in an elevator, or you have to put in very gradual, wide ramps. It's expensive. I mean, I could do it myself, but still, that's sacrificing a lot of time to do it. And for another firm to do it, they'll charge you $50,000 to $100,000. So here's Fresh Catch coming up on the right. They still have the rocks blocking it. This used to be where a lot of people would park for free. I don't know why they did that, because they should get some food trucks here and start selling to people. Let people park for free, food trucks, and they could sell suntan oil, suntan lotion, food, ice cream. I mean, they could sell a ton. I would just make it into a sand parking lot. Let tons of people park here. I'd be encouraging people to park here. I mean, I guess they're worried about liability, and that's the problem with the beach now. You're stuck with a lot of leftovers from this fear mongering that went on. Oh my God, yeah, now you have to have flood insurance. Oh, and then I heard from one guy, he was at a garage sale. He goes, I said that storm Ian was a storm in a century. I said, you'll never have a storm come through here like that in another century. And then he goes to me, like a fear monger. He goes, oh, but next year starts the new century. I'm like, oh brother, come on. The probability, I mean, come on, right now, I have to admit, in 2005, there was 4 tropical storms back to back that came through this area. And one of them being Charlie. And the other 3 were pretty dangerous. That they were like 50 miles offshore, so they only encountered high surf. So as long as your boat was moored in a spot where it wouldn't get direct wave action, you were all right. In Charlie, there was enough forewarning on Charlie that you could have taken your boat, you could have trailered it and taken it out of the area, or you could have, the locks, I heard that before the locks, boats still got hammered, but after the locks, or Lake Okeechobee, you were all right. See, look, for sale signs. Everywhere. These people are smart. Not only that, they're weighing down their for sale signs. I like how they have big phone numbers. I like how they have website. They have 2 websites there. Oh, we're coming up to the church I like getting water at. Okay, well, I'm thirsty, so we're going to have to get some water. And this is just the perfect timing, because I'm, the traffic broke just when I got thirsty. Perfect timing. Okay, here's a house here on the right-hand side. Yeah, it's starting to fall apart. You see the walls are starting to crumble. I don't know how that's due. But I know they wanted to fix this house, but the wall's crumbling like that. I mean, they're going to have to get a lot of injection cement and just plaster that wall with cement to keep it from falling apart. The thing about it is that we're almost in March, so we have 2.5 months. I'm telling you, it's been one of the longest dry spells so far. It usually can't last like this. Usually when we have a dry winter, the rainy season starts early, and these days are getting hotter and hotter. This is actually a really warm winter we've had without rain, which means that we're going to get a situation where I can see the cumulus clouds are already starting to build right now in the sky. Very small, almost imperceivable. But we're going to get a time where the rain is just all of a sudden, May, let's say 15th, or a little bit before that, it'll just open up. Once it'll just, the Everglades will come alive, and we're just going to get a downpour. And from that day on, it's going to get worse and worse and heavy, and it's going to be big time. So anyway, this is where you get your free food donations. This is the charity of the church. Hello. And we're going to try to look for that. I didn't look up on a map. I meant to do it last week because I couldn't find it. I don't know where that... It's somewhere up in this area. There is a cul-de-sac, and it's where it's really wide, so it has to be up in this area. And so it's either this street or the street. It may be on the street where the Titanic house is. I'll have to look at that. In fact, I'm gonna go over there next. Now the nice thing is that the church here just tried to fix looks like they're concrete steps that lead up to the church. Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, I could be wrong, but it looks like they're trying to fix those concrete steps, which is interesting. See, look, they used to park for free over here. Now they blocked it off. Terrible. So again, Fort Myers Beach is doing everything they can do to hurt the people, but they're not doing anything to help, except making it more inconvenient for people to do anything. So I guess the church is still holding these tents that they have. I would do beach services. Now the interesting thing is that on the right hand side, that they made that into a beach barbecue. See, that's the thing. That's another business opportunity you have. Now the property on the beach is going for an exorbitant amount of money, but look at this. You're right near the church. You have a beach access that's posted. You can't go in there, which is kind of sad. Although people are just going around it. If you could make that a commercial lot, which I doubt you can, but if it was a commercial lot, then see, this guy here owns this property on the left-hand side. He's staring at me. And he put this caution, do not, because I guess people are parking on this property using that as free access to the water. So you have to put this tape up to prevent people from going on your property. I'm sticking down the street here to see if I see a cul-de-sac. I don't see a cul-de-sac. I want to keep my eye peeled. So, but if you could buy a commercial piece of property on the water and put some food trucks there, and that's the key, generate cash flow immediately and charge those food trucks between $500 and $1,000 a day to park their food trucks there. You know, if they want to park them there to sell, they better pony it up. Oh, here's the Titanic house. It's still here. See how it's again? It looks like it's breaking down each day. There's a little more breaking down through the center. They should save that as a memorial. Call it the Titanic house and take people on tours. I think people would love that. But see, this is one of the narrowest points where the road is to the beach. So you can get to the beach really easy here. Now, see, this church parking lot would be fantastic for people to park and go to the beach, but they have it blocked off. So looking at this church, they had just put in new windows too. It's sad. I don't think it's new windows. I think they had put in new windows before the hurricane. But if they put new windows in there, maybe they're fixing it. I don't know. I'm looking inside, and it looks like they did clean the floors. Looks like, it looks like some of the air conditioning vents are being cleaned, but I can't be 100% sure. Okay, I'm looking down this road here. I don't see a cul-de-sac. So this house, people gave up hope. Again, they just had a new roof put on. Wow, sad. They were trying to fix it. I mean, it's got potential, but you have to be able to work. I mean, here's hibiscus. This is like Everyone is fixing up their I mean, it's like a mobile home community now. But it's kind of nice though. Now, I've seen property was selling as cheap as 500,000. Now, if you could buy a house for 300,000, or buy a piece of land, that is, and put, for 300,000, like one of these pieces of property here, and put an RV on it, that would be like money in the bank, because I don't think you'll lose money in that investment. And if you're worried about losing money in the stock market or in the banking, this would be a good way to. Now, the only problem is that you have to find a way to market to make money too, because they're going to charge you property tax, and that's the darn thing about real estate. Every real estate is an investment, is a business, and because they charge you so much in property tax, which I think shouldn't be the case. I think that's just ridiculous. They should do away with property tax. I see no benefit it does whatsoever, except for the police to deny you access to the beach and try to charge you. And right, I mean, the way they built this road is ridiculous. The old road was so much nicer, but they spent $80 million on this road, and it's worse than the old road that was here. The old road was a big asphalt road, 3 feet higher, that angled the water off the road. This angles the water onto the road. And so in the summertime, it's a river coming down here because the water backs up in the drains, has nowhere else to go. So the water, let's say now lately we haven't been having midday rains like we used to in the early 80s. In the early 80s here, sometimes we'd have 3-hour rains. And this, the way they built the road in the past, it would angle all the water off the road. Now, if we had those same 3-hour midday rainstorms like we had in the early 80s, this road would be flooded for at least 3 to 4 hours. And we're talking about 1 foot to 2 feet deep. And all it takes is one car to break down, and now the whole thing is backed up, and you're going to have all the cars breaking down. So, that would be terrible. Okay, so the house we're just passing on the left, that house survived nicely. A couple broken windows. You go to Sanibel Glass on McGregor Boulevard down by the Sanibel factory outlets. They can get that glass tube made in no time. All right, now we're starting to get some hotel-like structures on the right-hand side. Any one of these would be a great investment opportunity, but I can tell you right now, none of them are for sale. All of them have evidence that they're being renovated. So these would not be good investment opportunities because there's just not enough rooms. Again, there's $35,000 to maintain each $1 million. So roughly 7%. So, like this property we just passed on the right, the Strand View Tower. The first floor above ground got hit severely. Second floor lightly. I know someone by the river, they had 6 feet of water outside their house, but because the house was built waterproof, they only had 2 inches of water inside. So they had 6 feet of water surrounding the house. The doors and windows were watertight, and they only had 2 inches of water inside the house. That's amazing. I wish I had that in my house. Now on the right-hand side, these homes are raised to a high point. Although the water did get up, it did get up to that first floor, but it got up probably like inches. So if you had a proper like piece of plastic or something, the wave force would not have been significant to knock in your window or door or your sliders if you had sliders there. So there is a property coming up which would be an interesting buy opportunity. I'm not going to cover it. It's behind the what is it? Not the Chapel by the Sea. The other church coming up here. I think the Church of the Ascension, and it's right behind it. It's a nice piece of property. Okay, this property coming up. It looks just like the Best Western Plus. right here. Let's see how many rooms it has. Let's see, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It looks like 10. It could be 10 or 11 on each floor. So this is a nicer place. The first 2 levels would be subject to water. The next 3, I see some doors were ripped off from the air, and I see the top portion of the roof was ripped off, which was like the overhang. So again, it's not significant damage per se, but it's damage. So that would probably cost about $200,000 to $300,000 to fix. It's right across the street from Publix. Let me see, Publix is still not open. People are going back to the marina because the marina's got a restaurant back there. The restaurant is open. And the marina back there is doing good. Now this little business right here, again, a lot of real estate signs, and there's a lot more open space. I'm noticing that. This little building right here across the street, I love that. That survived. The stairs are intact. The water line going up. It needs a little bit of TLC. Oh, sorry. But I mean, you wouldn't know until you go inside there. There are some hanging things. It looks like the air conditioner there got its casing blown off. But if the price was right, I couldn't put a real estate office in there though. That's my problem. Now it looks like that thing is meant as two efficiencies. It could just be one big rental office. In fact, that's what it looks like. It looks like it's like a party room. So a lot of these homes, they're using wood because the price of wood came down right now. Prices of concrete is very expensive, but the price of wood has come down, so a lot of people are fixing their properties up with wood. Wow, that's not going to hold up during a hurricane, but I guess they ordered a lot of wood. And people didn't board up their house during wood. Okay, so here's the piece of property that I like. This is again, I shouldn't be looking at this property, but always when I pass it, I am. So I'm not going to talk about it, but here's a place where you can park for free. So this is a definite spot where you can park for free to go to the beach. Now, finding your way to the beach is a problem, but you can park here for free. So there was like 6 parking spots, and people are parking there, and they're smart because it's free. Now, you're really supposed to be living in Yachtsman Cove subdivision to park here, but no one is stopping them. So I see 3 people are parked here, and there's debris covering two parking spots. So. But every hotel coming up on the right-hand side would be a good investment. I see most of them got that top roof thing ripped off. So you have all this roof renovation crews are working to restore the roofs. Again, more open space. I see less and less homes. I see pools with no homes, which is interesting. Like here on the left-hand side, you got this yellow house. I mean, if you just had like 3 or 4 people working, they can get that thing, the roof, they can get that done. It hasn't rained in a couple weeks, so the structure is there, And now this thing's falling apart here. This thing needs to come down left. And then over here, this thing, every day goes by, a little more wind, rain, rats and raccoons living up there. Forget it. They're chewing up all the cables and everything. Forget it. Potter's home survived pretty good, although their staircases got wiped out. But their elevator still works, so you can still get up there. We're probably going to have to just build new staircases. More and more homes are getting knocked down. I see more and more evidence. See, there's a home there that it's got a couple of its foundation. The home is tilted off its foundation. don't know if that thing's going to be able to be saved. So they're just, you're brushing concrete like diesel cement, and then he's just hosing it in. So. Again, on the right-hand side, plenty of open space. Left-hand side, more open space. More and more of these, the hope has been wiped out. The evidence of what once was. And again, the Fort Myers Beach is blocking off all access. And they clean these sidewalks, so just people are piling up more junk. That's pissing me off. And look, somebody parking up here. What's all that about? But be careful, it's all porcelain. It's tile porcelain. This hotel coming up on the right-hand side of the Sandpiper. Significant damage, but if you could fix that hotel, and I think the last time I came here there was 2 people fixing it. It looks like they got another construction crew in here, but maybe it's way too much damage. The hopium is there, but still there, but you know. And because the hopium is there, the Fort Myers Beach Fire Marshal was a little lenient on them. As long as there's trucks parked there, there's a fence around it, whatever, they'll let them the benefit of the doubt. But I'm telling you, if they don't get this place fixed up by May 15th, when the rains come, these buildings that are not done have to be torn down. There's no way that you can work during lightning and rain. Absolutely no way. Right now, there's no lightning and no rain. Like this building here, it's hidden in the brushes. You don't even think that this building is damaged, but it is. Look at this. Right here. I would love that building. I mean, the roof, you think you could just prop up the roof a little bit, the roof is still fine, right? Look, it's got a spiral staircase going up to the 2nd level. You know, I mean, if you really look hard, the foundation doesn't look that much damaged. There's some cracks in the wall and stuff like that. The roof is hanging. But it looks like if you just put some good supports in there, it would be okay. But no, this whole building has got to come down. That's a sad thing, too, because that roof is a $100,000 steel roof. It's one of those really expensive barrel tile. And the roof held. It's just that the wave that came in at probably 10 to 15 miles an hour with a force of two speeding 90-mile-per-hour freight trains blew that thing out. Okay, so this is a barbecue, but this is also a piece of property I'm looking at here on the left-hand side. It's hard to find commercial property here on Fort Myers Beach. This is owned by Tri-Power Real Estate. This piece of property right here, behind it, was owned by the Fort Myers Beach car wash and laundromat. So I don't know what's going on with the laundromat, but I would consider buying each one. I know that the laundromat was sold recently before the hurricane for about $1 million. I don't know about Tri-Power. I think Tri-Power, there was a transactional value of $500,000 on this, but how much is it now? Is it still $500,000 or is it $300,000 because the structure got destroyed? I don't know. But I would offer $300,000 for it, a piece of property, and then I'd put one food truck on it, and I'd put a camper on it to live there, and then I would have to hire a construction firm to build something. That would be another $500,000. And that's the thing. A good business opportunity down here as well is to buy the raw land right now and develop the property. Now again, wood is cheap right now, but everything else is expensive. So again, looking at the left-hand side right now, open property. So more and more homes have been taken down. I was at a garage sale, and the lady said FEMA is also taking down nuisance trees. So if there's big trees that were snapped in half by the hurricane, they can come down by the next summer storm. Even Florida Power and Lights, that they're going to chip in, and they're going to take those trees down for free, which is nice. And they're getting reimbursed by FEMA. So, in a way, I mean, if you can get something for free done like that, that's nice. That's a benefit. But for the people who lost their homes, that's a sad consolation. See, another home came down here on the right-hand side. You can just see they're digging up whatever was there. More open space. The for sale signs are up before the property is fully demolished. Look at that. It's amazing. Yep, the house to the right. This one here too, right? I mean left. Has to come down. I see there's tar and roofing paper on it. Oh my God, it's not coming down. They're going to re-roof that house. That is completely ridiculous. That house needs to come down. Huh. Like behind this church, there's an apartment complex that practically nothing happened to it. That is the type of you want to buy for, if you could pick that entire community up, which I doubt, for like $40 to $50 million. You could sell each one of those properties right now for between $700 to $1 million. Each one of those condos, whether it be 1, 2 bedroom, studios could go for $700. The 1 bedroom can go for $900, and the 2 bedrooms can go for $1 million or plus, easy. And if there's 100 or 200 of them back there, then if you paid $70 million or so, anywhere between $50 to $7 million, you can turn around and easily walk away with between $30 and $50 million in your pocket. And that's what you want to do. Sad thing is, it will cost you to renovate up to $500,000. So you're going to have obviously an SBA loan. You're going to have to get the loan for more than the property value. So you'll have to say to the bank, I know the property I'm buying for $50 million, but give me $52 million, because I'm going to need $2 million to do some renovation work. And the bank will usually agree, because if you say, I'm going to sell the property, I'm going to subdivide it, and sell each apartment individually, then exactly. And then you, as your last respect, you set up a condominium association. You charge them a minimal condominium fee just to do. Oh, thank you. I'll take this way. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all right.
I like this property for sale coming up on the left. It's an old bank building, but it was a gasoline station first. It's got an aluminum roof. It looks like some people are trying to fix it. Now, this Coquina property, people are still living here, so it looks like it, for the most part, survived. There is some construction area on the right-hand side here. On the left-hand side, the hopium ran out here. There was a second level that kind of collapsed. You can kind of see it. You can see there was evidence of windows up there. Windows don't normally lay flat like that. Usually they're vertical. So the top half of that structure got ripped off. And just listening to see if there's evidence. I see a wheelbarrow out there, and it looks like they're trying to renovate this place. And here's the weird thing: there's a white sticker on it, which means that you may actually allow occupancy. Here's Driftway Lane. Again, I'm looking for where I had that cul-de-sac. I should look on the map. It's got to be a wide part of the island. This is a wider part of the island down here, but I don't see it down that way. Maybe it's this road coming up. Okay, here's the 7-Eleven. Outrigger Hotel. That's sad. The whole thing's gonna come down. I mean, if you could buy the place really cheap, I mean, this is the biggest gamble on the beach here, this Outrigger. It's a nice place. Lots of property, lots of potential, lots of beach access. We're probably looking at 30 times 2 plus another 20. You're probably looking at 80 homes. Oh, okay, thanks. I'm gonna have to come back here because actually I'll try to come back on the beach. All right, here's the Charlie Brown's restaurant on the left-hand side again. There's a fence around it, so it means somebody bought it. It's a nice piece of property. This would be the best strip mall, but you're gonna have to put some serious money in it. So they're ripping up their old trees and putting the trees out. You can see it. A lot of tree stumps. That sidewalk is being used, that's for sure. Okay, I'm only going to go down. I'm not going down too much further. I'm going to go down to the old Holiday Inn again. Here's the Beach Theater. I like it. You can make a little supermarket out of this Beach Theater. I mean, that's what I would turn it into. I would turn it into a supermarket right now because they don't have a supermarket down here. I mean, you think Santini Plaza or the CVS building down here, they can easily make that into a little supermarket. I'm surprised Aldi's doesn't open up a little branch down here because you can get, well, again, the property on the left is totally destroyed. Don't even want to look at that. Here are the tennis courts I was looking at. One straight ahead and the one here. So there's one court here, there's two courts over there. Excellent property. Again, if I could just get a little piece of this property, I could put pickleball courts. You know, I could put parking for the beach, and then also put a little tiny ice cream store, maybe a bike rental, and a little real estate office. Wow, I would do that for all these properties because that's what they need. They need public. They need. I mean, this would be a great area here for a public boat ramp too. Now, the property owners would probably hate it, but if they allowed me to do that, put a real estate office right in here, I would make the vegetation really nice again. I would buy that pink house that got destroyed and fix that. I mean, I wouldn't fix it, but I'd make that the boat ramp area. And yeah, the property owners would hate. Because what I would do is not only would I have a boat ramp, but I'd have a kayak rental here too. See, that's the thing. And then you can rent kayaks by the hour. So, again, the properties coming up on the left are just perfect. They're very similar to the properties behind the church that are looking in perfect condition. All the properties on the right-hand side, they're built strong. They're all perfect. I mean, some of them are boarded up. Some of the windows got blown out. They got a little bit of like aesthetical damage from blowing rain and wind, but for the most part, the building survived. And the floors are high enough that only the first floor got susceptible to the water. We're turning up here at Wyndham. I don't want to go any further. I just want to take a look at the CVS store, actually. We're passing another tennis court on the right-hand side. It got destroyed. People don't play tennis here anymore. Okay, I'm going to just go up to the CVS because this thing should be a supermarket. Because if there's any place that needs a supermarket, it's the south end of the island here. And if you had a business idea, this CVS store looks like it. I mean, it's raised high enough. It definitely got hit by the surge, that's for sure. But it's raised high enough that, and you know, they were selling food inside the store, so it's grandfathered into that type of, you know, food. I mean, they probably had a 2 COP license here too. You can sell beer and wine. And then the 7-Eleven across the street, of course, is knocked out. They need a 7-Eleven now of any time. See the CVS, I mean, it looks, just bicycle around it, take a look at it. See if they're doing anything to fix it. So the front of it is boarded up. I see some of the ground signs, the signage is destroyed. We have an estuary behind here. I don't know if that's good or bad. Let's see. The bank teller box, both of them are destroyed. Oh yeah, the water got higher than that, a lot higher than that. It's got see the air conditioner on the ground. So the air conditioner must have been properly put on the roof. That's a good thing. I mean, a knockdown stop sign, nothing. It takes 10 minutes to put up. So, and the roof looks in good condition. Just needs to be painted. There are some rafters down, but that's nothing. Some of the windows may be cracked again. Get a sandable glass, still good. It'll charge you a little bit more, but you know what? You'll get it that same day, or if not the same week, and you can pick it up, or they'll install it. Bingo. Everything else about the store looks pretty good. Alright, let's cross the street now and see if it's... Aha. See, the south end of the island is kind of lazy, which is nice though, because you want it quiet like this. But either that CVS as a grocery store, or the old movie theater up here, that'd be an excellent grocery store. Just like on Jerry's, raised up off the ground. Okay, this was a bad idea. Oh well, I have to go through it now. So this window, this got hit really bad. Actually, this got hit worse than Surfrider. This was This was the old Holiday Inn. I remember coming to Fort Myers Beach in the late '70s, and this had the old Holiday Inn sign on it. That nice, real old one that I forget what it's called, the Christmas tree sign. It was beautiful. Sad that it's gone. Wyndham bought it. You think Wyndham would take some of their Las Vegas money and fix it up, but they're not. They just parked a big fuel truck here and a couple bulldozers. Hello. So yeah, look at all the ground floor apartments. Let's see. Oh, significant. Significant, yeah. But look how small they were. Gosh. These things were like, barely call them a studio. I mean, but these make the perfect spring break bedrooms, because that's what you want. You want a bedroom that only fits 2 people. You don't want a bedroom that they can squeeze 25 people in. So even if they got $39 a night here, the amount of hotel rooms they have, let's see how many they have here. So 13 times 2 times 2, so 22. They had 52 rooms right here, not including the ones on the beach. So on the beach, you have another about 6 or 8 rooms. Let's see, 8 rooms. So that makes 60 rooms just on this one wing, and they had 2 wings. So that could mean 120 rooms. So if this place was ready to sell, with 120 rooms, with the 8 rooms on the water, the problem is, I'm looking at them right now, the foundation right here was undercut a little bit. There's other structural issues. This is the wide beach. I forgot about this one. Alright, so there's a walk out to the beach. Oh. And the sad thing is, it looks like it's high tide again. Even worse. And the sand is all soft, so I can't bicycle. I'm going to try to walk it really fast. Alright, so you're going to have to listen to me talk. You can see Sanibel way out here. Got a good angle looking down the beach. Sanibel lost a lot of trees too. So, definitely got a haircut. High tide, so it may be a short bicycle ride. Okay, right here looks stable enough. It looks wind blown enough that it's down to hard pack. Let's see how hard it is. Alright, we're trying. Yeah, I'm able to at least bicycle on this motor. Oh, where this 4-wheeler or whatever it was here. They compacted the sand a little bit. Alright. Oh yeah, that's high. It's really high. So you think that this is a tidal wash here. So this gets some groundwater in here and it hardens up. Oh, I'm not going to make it. Oh, I made it. Oh. Oh, wow. Oh, look at all the dead fish. What happened here? Look at it, up and down the beach. This must be all that water that came down from Ohio. And this must be all the dead fish that either came down from Ohio or it's killing all the fish in the Gulf. This is bad news. Look at them all. Wow. Look at that. That's a dead pinfish. I mean, it was a zebrafish, dead. Right? Let me see. I'll try to be wrong. Nope, it's a zebrafish, dead. They usually prey on pinfish. Wow. Boy, this is a health hazard. Why is all this dead fish, you know? All the dead fish. Oh, is that vinyl chloride from Ohio? Oh, that's sad. So this is the dead fish up in Ohio, or this? Oh, algae bloom too? Oh, wow. Okay, thank you. They say there's an algae bloom, but I doubt that. Nothing can kill this much fish. There has to be a chemical contaminant in the water that killed this stuff. I mean, look, every single fish died. Now, I have to admit, the fishing fleet got decimated. But look at it, even big fish got destroyed. This is terrible. I'd be afraid to eat seafood. I'd be afraid to buy seafood next 2 weeks or 3. Wow. I mean, look at this. I mean, it's sad. You could make bait fish out of every single conceivable fish got killed. I'm looking at everything. Wow. Well, this is not good. In fact, this is almost hazardous for me to bicycle. Look at that. All the fish are gasping for air, so they ran out of oxygen. Sad. Yeah, they're all gasping. Sad thing that, you know, if they would just come up to the top of the water, probably that's where the pelicans get them. But you know what? All this fish, I bet the pelicans die too, because the pelicans are eating this fish right on the beach. Why should they go in the water when there's dead fish floating around? That's sad. You wonder if all the fish are dead now. I mean, look at them all. This would feed like 100 countries. See catfish. See the tropical fish you'd find in aquariums. See mullet. A lot of pinfish. Mackerel. Look at this big one. Big flounder. Or it's either flounder or tuna. Shit, that's a big one. Oh man, I'm running over these things. It's terrible. Oh man, it's sad. Yeah, well, you know who's responsible? Washington, D.C. Commander-in-Chief, or whoever that person is, that resident-in-chief up there. You know, because Donald Trump is the one who won the election. And this vinyl chloride, for them leaking it into the water, and this stuff, vinyl chloride is so water soluble, even hydrogen chloride, that's extreme acid. I think there's only like hydrogen fluoride, which is worse than hydrogen chloride. Wow. That stuff burns like, I mean, I can see these fish with their eyeballs sticking out. It burned. They inhaled that water in their gills. It burned their gills up. They had no way to breathe. So they're trying to breathe through their mouths. And probably trying to suck air in. They couldn't get enough. They forgot. You know, they go underwater. They think their gills are going to work. They forget. They drown. And they end up floating up on the beach. Wow, this is sad. Wow. I wondered if this was all the fish in the Mississippi River, but it can't be because, oh, it's getting worse up here. Holy mackerel. Holy mackerel. I can't even bicycle on the beach. It's just sad. It's like there was that movie. Oh wow, these things are popping. Oh wow, they need to clean this mess up. Oh wow, even fish are getting stuck on my tire and they're going around the tire. They're going around for a complete circle. I'm trying to think of that movie that I saw, which is very morbid and sad. It's Hotel Rwanda. That was that came out in '94 or somewhere around then. Oh, I see a blowfish too. Oh man, a blowfish. Oh, it really stinks here. Here, I thought this was a. Even the seagulls aren't even out here. It stinks of it. Look at this blowfish right here. Oh shoot. Wow. Yeah, that's that vinyl chloride. It formed nerve gas and hydrogen chloride. So vinyl chloride itself will kill, and then the hydrochloric acid, that'll kill, and then the nerve gas, that'll eventually break down into ammonia and a form of bleach. But still, and ammonia and bleach will kind of sterilize a little bit. Ammonia, that'll just stink like that'll evaporate into the atmosphere. Oh, this is just horrible. Oh my God, there's another big flounder. I haven't seen any sharks yet. I guess if you go into deep water, maybe the stuff doesn't get down there. Oh, this tide is too high right now. Oh well, I gotta bail. Oh, I stepped on something. Now my feet feel terrible. So buyer beware. If you go into a restaurant, be careful ordering fish because they're just gonna scrape it off the beach and serve it to you. Either they're gonna make fish soup, scrape it off the beach and serve it to you, or fish chowder. They'll call it clam chowder, but just scrape it off the beach. Oh, wow. Somebody up in Washington's got to take responsibility for this. You don't see algae blooms like this at all. So when they say algae bloom, that's the longshore current comes from the Mississippi River down this way. So that means that the water from the Mississippi enters the Gulf of Mexico. It aims towards Florida. So you have a lot of water entering it. So I doubt that the fish, I mean, there is a lot of fish in the Mississippi River, but these fish that are dead here, they came from the Gulf. I recognize them. They're not floating down from the Mississippi. The ones floating from the Mississippi got pushed up onto the Mississippi, Alabama beaches. These fish that are killed down here, there's enough vinyl chloride. Oh, these people are smart. You guys are smart. It stinks up there.
Yeah.
So putting. What? Do you know what happened? Is that the vinyl chloride?
That's probably the phosphate from Lake Ocean.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they're probably doing releases. There's nobody to complain about it.
Oh, I know that they've been doing releases, but I was here last week and I didn't see this.
No, they just came out this week. I heard it on the news. And the wind just changed. Because we got here this morning, it wasn't stinking, but now we're starting to cough. So, the wind changed.
It almost smells like vinyl chloride.
Yeah.
I don't think these fish came from the Mississippi, but something entered the Gulf. It's killing. That's sad. All right, take care. Bye, kitties. Yeah, it's got that vinyl chloride smells like ammonia, chlorine, and yeah, like PVC. It has all that smell to it. Oh, wow. But of course now it smells like rotting fish everywhere. Even right now, it's the fish odor is pungent. I mean, not as bad as the beach. But you know what? I wasn't seeing any seashells washing up. That's the strange thing. All I was seeing is dead fish. So maybe the seashells are enjoying that stuff. Oh, but that's really going to drive up food prices extremely. I'm taking this way because I don't know how to get on the beach. So let's see what the nice here. Oh, yeah, right now it smells like a restaurant somewhere, but there's no restaurant. Wow. I wonder how if they rake the beach up by the. So here's another access point where you can park and get to the beach. So this could be a hidden gem here to get to the beach. This obviously is a public road, and so this is another point where you can get to the beach for free. So here's a side road. This is probably those people's truck right here. Let's see what it says about parking. Yeah, I see another parking spot here. It probably says you got to pay $5 an hour. Oh yeah, that's exactly what it says. Photo enforcement. Parallel parking only. $5 per hour. Wonderful. See, no break, no brakes. No brakes. I'm just looking up at the power pole, see if there's a router up there. I don't see one. It's gotta be close by. Oh man, my tires and my shoes smell like dead fish everywhere now. See, we haven't taken some of these back roads. This is interesting. Hey, hold on. See, now I gotta take these back roads and check around. So just think, all these properties had a house. And now there's no homes here. So if you can buy a house or buy a piece of property, right now is the time to scramble and get one of these before the prices soar. Now the thing is that when the crash in 2000, let's say, well, it happened after 2006, but 2006, 2007, 2008, those were the big years. There was a significant amount of devaluation. So we gotta sneak through this area. I have to go over here. Anyway, this pool is holding water. It's just a cloud that is evaporating. Bit of a small leak. Hold on, we're going out this way. Wow. That could be why the Coast Guard was flying their Apache helicopter over the water. Somebody did that. They're contaminating the food supply. I mean, they're killing off all the fish. That's you know, that makes the U.S. under attack. So something the current administration did, either they're doing it to kill fish, to kill Americans, or somebody else did it to kill Americans. You know, either way, we don't have a country if the country can't defend the citizens. The citizens have to take the country back from the inept people that are managing the country, because this is not right. You can't have a whole seashore littered with dead fish on spring break. And people don't even know. They say it's a red bloom, but come on. A red bloom? That bad? Come on. There's been no rain. Wow. So people are paying $5 an hour. So they get pissed off because you can't go to the beach with that kind of environment. And that wasn't there last week. Last week it was perfectly fine. And it's going to take at least 2 or 3 weeks for that smell, that dead fish to get I mean, they need to scrape that fish off because that fish is just going to get worse and worse. That's why I'm coughing. I don't know why, but wow. I would have a service. Fort Myers Beach paid me $100,000. I'd go up and down the beach a couple times until there's tons of fish floating in the water dead too. So it would take multiple passes, multiple tides to get all that dead fish in. It looks like there's still 2 more tides worth of fish, 2 more low tides of fish. So at least 2 more days of fish, which means a week at least of stench. I mean, that fish is going to have to be covered up by the beach, and then you dig down, you're going to expose the dead fish. Oh, it's just... And then fishing is going to be negligible to zilch out in the water. I would say that most fish will go in the, if it's dying that bad out there, the fish are going to go in the Caloosahatchee. So if you want to do fishing, there's no sense in going, let's say, to Pine Island Sound or no, you stay in the river where the fish hatcheries are. Because the fish know, they see other dead fish floating by, they're going to run for cover. They'll run to their hatcheries. If they're right, if they're opening up Lake Okeechobee and putting all these phosphates down, which I don't believe, to tell you the truth. Wow, so that's interesting. I'm set for another water. I can't wait. All right, so we didn't see that many properties. There's not that much. If you could buy a piece of property and it's commercial, or whatever, let people park on it, put some food trucks. That's your best bet right now, because that's like money in the bank. An empty piece of property is not going to lose value per se. It's buy it cheap enough. It's like money in the bank. You will have to pay. Property tax on it, though. That's the thing. So. All the for sale signs are back up. That's a good sign. Okay, so again, here's a Tri-Power Realty property. Looks like General Contractor Solutions. A lot of people are putting their names out. There's only one truck stopping by for a barbecue. I see the person cooking is lounging out, so that's pretty sad. They have a mobile home here. They may acquire that property. I mean, I would love to go into business with them and discuss a business opportunity. If I was to buy the property and build it, if they can get me the property for next to nothing, I would build them a restaurant. And that's the key, because if I spend all my money buying the property, which I would think that most sellers right now want all cash deals. They don't want to seller finance. No way. Seller finance is good in areas where there's very little money, like North Fort Myers, Punta Gorda. You have to seller finance because the people coming in don't have the money, or they're just they're new entries to the job or labor market. What happened to COVID really decimated the medical field. People don't trust the doctors and dentists right now, so people are staying extra vigilant. They're doing that extra exercise. They're watching. They can't afford to eat crazy right now. They have to watch their diets. They're doing what I'm doing: cheap entertainment, exercise. I'm seeing people walk out to the beach. They're smelling that odor. They're walking really slow. They're like, "What is this? Is there a big beach fish fillet going on?" No. Wow. Yeah, I can smell it in here. I was wondering what all that dead fish was. And there's just too much dead fish. That is. Wow. All the Fort Myers Beach shrimp boats combined with full loads wouldn't equal all that fish that's washing up. And then you have another, I looked out in the water, the dead fish are everywhere. If you wade out in the water, forget it. You have to wade through dead fish that are basically bumping up against each other. There's no way you can go in that water. It looks blue, it's deceivingly blue. It's blue with big white things floating in it. That's the fish. And some of these fish are like 2 or 3 feet long. I didn't see any sharks washing up, because the sharks are probably having a field day. See, some of these larger fish, they could come up to the surface, they could breathe air, suck it into their gills or whatever they have, and then they could, without using their gills, they can go underwater, and with that, dolphins obviously do that. I don't see any dolphins washed up on beach, but still, it's sad to think that the dolphins eat this fish. Hopefully they're not eating anything contaminated. Hopefully there's not poison out there. That is sad. Anyway. So that's probably why people came to the beach. They noticed that there was dead fish. It smelled so bad. And they just left. They said, okay, no beach today. We'll just go to the, I don't know, we'll walk around the mall or something. We'll go play miniature golf or something. You know. I mean, men could always go home. There's always work at home to do. I got work staring at me. We're contractors, we can come back to the beach and start working on some of these homes. In fact, I have to do some roof caulking when I get home. I got some free caulk yesterday. That's bathroom caulk white. I have some silicone caulk. I have a leak by my drain vent up in the roof near my kitchen sink. Well, the drain vent from the kitchen sink. I just got to caulk that. Literally that'll take about 3 minutes maybe. Just got to rip get an X-Acto knife, rip the old caulking off. Some of it is hardened to like a plastic. It's not like putty, or it's not like, whatever you want to call it. It's not hugging the contour of the roof. It kind of like melted. Now it's like wax. I'm just gonna rip that off and put some. I don't have any that blackjack stuff. I wish I did. I just want to caulk it just to get it caulked. I'm selling the house, so I don't need to put too much. Plus, if I rip the roof up, this will hold for a month and a half until the roof is done, so it won't really matter. Alright, so the Shores, that's a nice little tiny one, but again, tiny doesn't mean good because they'll probably want about 18 million for that. There's only maybe eight apartments, maybe 10, so you can sell them for $1 million each. If you only have $1 million cushion, it's gonna be tight. I mean, just with interest alone and fix up, that's almost $1 million right there. So you don't want to do a public charity, just waste your time like that. This property on the right-hand side, this used to be a park, was donated. Now they were using it to sift the dirt. They moved the trommel that used to sift the dirt. That was awesome. And the shaker table they have, I saw it once in operation. I have it on video. It's pretty awesome seeing that shaker table go. But they weren't running water through the trommel, so obviously that's what they would do up in. But it was a nice brand new trommel. It was almost $3 million trommels. The clock shows the time when power went off. It was 10 minutes to 10, 9:50 a.m. when they lost power here. That was pretty much where it was at, because we were hoping the storm would slide up to Sarasota, and it hit here, and then the water didn't rise until the eye got here, and the eye just slowly, the forward momentum of Hurricane Ian came to almost an abrupt halt. And when that happens, the eye of the storm picks the water up even higher, so the surge got even higher than the 6 to 8 feet that they were at first saying. Then they were saying 10 to 15 feet. Wow, if I had known that, I would have gotten out of Dodge, but oh well. I've stayed in this area through all the hurricanes, through Hurricane Charlie in 2005, Hurricane Wilma in 2009, Hurricane Irma in 2016, and Hurricane Ian in 2022. So roughly, yeah, about 6 years apart. So even if you were to buy a property here, again, you got to fix it up before the summertime. The summertime you're going to have from May through end of September. You can have rains every single day, and the rain sometimes lasts until mid-October. So, and then you have those frontal rains that come down. I'm surprised one hasn't come down here. It's a digital cable, Alpha. We're coming up to the I'm going to cut the video right up here at the, I'm not going to video all the way to my car again, but right up here at the church, I'm going to cut it because I think people are tired. Alright. But they're digging up the foundations here, making nice big piles for the big FEMA trucks. I guess they have a contract for a couple more months, so might as well dig up some of the homes. Some of these homes are still knocked down. I'm surprised they haven't been dug up. The faster they get this place cleared, the easier it is for contractors to get a building permit. Because if they have to file another permit to clear the land, forget it. So it's to the city's advantage, although the homeowner is the one taking it on the chin, to clean up this property as fast as they can. We're passing by the Titanic house, and that's the church coming up on the left-hand side. Now, the wind is picking up. It's coming from the south and going to the north right now. You see these flags blowing. So it's at maybe 2 or 3 miles an hour. So, and I can smell that fish even worse now because it's blowing inland. Before the wind is going straight down. Now it's coming from the south and north. Looks like we'll have a break right after this black car, if I'm lucky. Maybe not. See, the church is saying drywall March 14th, so everyone's going to volunteer and build the drywall in the church March 14th. That's pretty cool. Or maybe FEMA is going to bring drywall in. Who knows? I wish I knew where that treasure chest was. Could have swore it was down this road, but it's not. It looks like it from the street. This is where you go for your food bank if you're. I think they have it on. I know they have it sometimes on Saturdays, sometimes on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or is it Wednesdays? Sometime during the week. They don't have it today, that's for sure. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this bicycle ride. Next weekend I may go out to Palm Beach around Trump's place just to check it out because I haven't been out of this area in a while bicycling. So next Sunday, Saturday I'm probably gonna have a garage sale at my house, so there won't be that many garage sales unless I videotape my own garage sale. All right, manana.